got her started in bodybuilding. So let's welcome the lovely Mrs. Jessica Picard. Picard.
Picard, yeah.
Yeah, I know a
Yeah,
Picard. I don't know. Maybe you might be, one of his ancestors. His name is John Luke. I mean,
John Luke, yeah. Yeah, I get
that's,
that one a lot. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love Star Trek. I mean, I love Next Generation. I love the originals, Deep Space Nine. The last two, but it's just I know it's your married name, so he can't help it. So it's his
Yeah.
fault. So welcome, Jessica, and thank you for your time.
Yes, it's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
But not a problem, not a problem, ma'am. So, as I often ask you, ladies, what got you started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
So, I have been lifting weights since I was the age of 14. My mom got me into weightlifting kind of early on. Not really intentionally. She started going to the gym, working out when her and my dad started going through a divorce. So, for her, it was like a big stress relief. And just sometimes mentally, what weightlifting does is one, it distracts you and it does a lot mentally to build you up and build confidence and get you back to being who you need to be strong. So I started lifting at 14. I didn't know what I was doing. I had a lot of Muscle and Fitness magazine, Shape magazine. Um, Time spent that I would just read and go through everything. So like fast forward through the rest of my life, I had kids, I had husbands. And so I've always between, having being pregnant, after I had my kids, I went back to working out. I've always had weights in my house or cardio equipment. I've always had some kind of equipment there. Um, and so fast forward to now, it's about like 25 years later, and I set a goal for myself 2 years ago to get my life back together. Not so much my life, but like my body back together. After COVID, being a nurse, I was stressed. Work was crazy. Kid life was crazy. I packed on like 30 pounds that I just all of a sudden it was there. And I wasn't happy with it. So I got myself back into shape. And once that started, I said, I'm going to compete. This is something I wanted to do for so long, and I love females with muscles. Like I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to look like that. I just didn't really have the know-how. And the know-how was really not the lifting weight part, it was the nutrition part. And how to eat in surplus and how to really like eat clean to get your body to perform, to get your body to build the muscle that you need. So that's the past 2 years have been a lot of that. So I cleaned up my diet. I lost the weight I needed to lose. I got back to like 130 pounds, which was like a good, healthy BMI for me. And then I reached out to a coach, my first coach last June. And we started, I said, here's my goal. I want to compete. How do we do it? And I started following his nutrition and workout plans, and I saw the muscle pack back on. Um, and some definition, but definition really doesn't come until you're like cutting. So it was like pack on as much as you can. And then December, I got a trainer just because he's local at my gym and he's an IFBB pro. And I was like, well, this is the guy that needs to help me get on stage. So I connected with him, and that's how we chose the show in April. And I got on stage my first time in April.
That's a lot of way to go. I mean, I can understand, packing on weight, especially during, Corona. As often I say to you nurses, because I even you quite ladies who are nurses, especially during that time, thank you for your service. Because my mother, she had gotten the virus, and she was sick for a long time, taking a long for her to pass. And it's tough being a mother, being a wife, and balancing a career and being a bodybuilder. And it's good that I can tell you the truth. I've been fighting bodybuilding for a long time. I remember the muscle mags; they were great. But for me, when I was younger, I really got into a little more to about child ladies. Yeah, I like women with muscle too, but but a different mindset. So now we fast forward. Now you're bodybuilding. What made you decide figure?
Um, so it's funny because I always followed Dana Bailey, and Dana's physique, she's not figure. I like that it is overall. It's not really like, I don't bikini to me is too tiny. I'm not bikini. I want to be bigger than bikini. Figure is nice and big, but I didn't want to do a dance routine. So I was like, figure has what I want. You have good symmetry, you're balanced overall. Wellness, you have to have heavy legs. That's where the direction is. And I said, I want to be overall in good shape and I want to be balanced. So that's why I ended up choosing figure.
Yeah, I know. Daily Baby, many ladies I've talked to, Daily Baby's always been that person that they, set their idea behind. First Miss Olympia physique, very popular, competitor. Not too much a big fan of hers. But I have a fan of a certain lady. Her name is Andrea Shaw. I know. If you guys you follow me, that's my girlfriend, and I think she has a great look to it. The visions, if you look at it now, are changing. When physique first started, they weren't as big as female bodybuilders, but they're getting to that point, they are getting bigger.
Yeah.
Y'all figure girls, y'all almost not too far behind them. And then you look at wellness, and bikini, those girls involved. And there's the new division, excuse me, fit model. I am not a fan of it. I feel like I understand, no. I'm not saying understand. I need to stop saying. I get their point why they created it, but still, I feel like it's not really bodybuilding.
Fit model is very hard. Very hard. So I have a friend that just competed in fit model, and I said to her, like, I don't know how to help you. And she has a coach, and I said, I don't know how to direct because you can't be too muscular, but you can't be too soft, and you got to do the posing that kind of looks like wellness, and you have to be sexy. And it's fit model to me, to comprehend and try to help somebody with that. And I'm not a competitive coach. I do transformative coaching. I don't do like competitors. I'll tell you where to go. I'm not doing it. It's hard. And to me, that is the most difficult thing to try to get people on fit model. And I understand the reasoning. Um, I just I don't know how, and the criteria and everything. It's just very hard to figure out what they really want is what I'm seeing when I'm watching who's winning and who's not winning. I'm like, I can't tell. Like they kind of all look pretty similar. So
Yeah.
so then it comes down to posing. It's fit models just hard.
It's a throwback to when bikini first started, but like I said again, that division has evolved. Also, it's to me, I think it's mostly just a bunch of beachgoers and cardio bunnies. We got here my man Exe Gucci. Not sorry, I'm sorry, wrong brother. My man KL the Wander. He says, morning to your brother," and also he says this. He says, "How far do you want to gain muscle, and what division you are competing in?" Well, she just mentioned she's doing figure. But she says she doesn't want to go too far. But the thing is about bodybuilding, it's very influential and very, habit forming, especially you lifting weights and building muscle.
Right. Right. So then, like, if I get too big in certain areas, I might pop into it depends on how my body grows. So right now I'm in a bulk, and I don't really know what's going to happen. I've never been in like a true bulk, I'll be honest with you. So now I'm like, well, what's going to grow? Um, I know what we're doing in the plans. I know what we're trying to get to grow, but what is actually going to show up on my body? So then you could pop into wellness if my legs start to look a little bit too large for figure, or if my upper body and everything else gets a little bit bigger, I could pop into physique. And that's where I'm open with eventually over time, because it takes so much time to build muscle, over time popping into another division. Ideally, I'd like to stay in figure, but like, we'll see what happens.
Well, as an amateur, you have the option to do one of both because it's like cross like it's cross crossing divisions. It's some people don't like it because that's what I feel like it changes the other divisions when you can cross more. Like I interviewed a lady who earned a pro card at nationals, and she did both figure and wellness, and she earned a pro card as a figure competitor. I know ladies who earn like multiple pro cards, both in physique and women's bodybuilding. One lady she earned three
Right.
pro cards, and when was in two divisions, two in figure and one in physique. But it's about the process as your body develops. And like I said, you're still you're still new to the sport. You're still
Right.
you're wet and fresh, wet behind the ears, and still your breath smell
Yeah.
like Similac. But it's a process that if you understand it, not so much trust it, understand what's involved in it.
Yeah. You could be successful. And you
Yeah.
have to realize that it's not a race. You're in a marathon right now. And at my first competition, I was like, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to go pro and I was like, afterwards, I was like, bring it down, bring it down a couple notches, slow down, slow your roll, and listen to your coach and like really get like a solid plan and be open and realize this business to get pro like usually takes like a good 10 years. Like,
Well, yeah, sometimes it takes some ladies
yeah.
a long time. I know some ladies who spend 20 years before they get their pro card. But sometimes every now and then you get some phenoms. I remember one lady, Hunter Henson, her first year, made her amateur debut. Boom, got a pro card. Boom, made her pro debut. Boom, and got second in her first show. But like I said, you have a plan. But my other guys, I don't have a plan. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I want to know what to do when I get one. And that's a good thing you have a plan. Like again, who's your coach now, and how long y'all been together?
So I switched to Bombshell Fitness in February. So I have Coach Jen Capozzi. She's a IFBB Pro Bikini. Um, but like collectively, they when we go to team shows and stuff, they all kind of coach you. So Jenny Clapp is a Bikini IFBB Pro. Jessica Delias, she is with Shannon Day, and they kind of run Bombshell. And so I have really good coaching and really good experience behind me to help guide me. So that's where I feel like I'm going to get where I need to be or where I want to be because I have this team of amazing women behind me coaching me. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about my coaching as much anymore as I was.
That's good. That's good you have that team because I think one thing I talk to ladies, they tell me that sometimes they feel more comfortable with a woman that's a coach because they understand everything that's involved in it, the biology, the growing of muscle. Men and women, we're always going to be biologically different. How like us guys, we can build muscle quick and lose fat quick compared to women because as you know, you're a mother, you have kids, y'all hold more of it in your breasts and your hips and all the other areas where it's needed, you know.
Right.
But that's a good thing that you have this good relationship, especially your first time competing. What was that feeling like? Because you did the was it the Steve Stone
It's
show?
Stone, yeah.
Yeah. Eh,
Uh, so Steve Stone was my first, and I feel like um, I was super nervous. I didn't know what to expect, and I feel like for every first-time competitor going out there, you're not gonna know, you're gonna be nervous. Everyone's gonna be screaming backstage, "Hurry up, pump, get your glaze, go." Just go with it. So like the second time around when I knew that was coming, I was like, "All right, like here's my pump snack. I'm getting pumped, get my glaze, get on stage." And I felt more comfortable on stage. And just getting on stage is like a huge, my whole fear was I'm going to fall in these heels, even though, even though I've been practicing. I was like, I'm going to fall. Um, and then I wanted to find my husband in the audience, and I was like, don't look for him. Look at the judges. Don't look for him. Look at the judges. So that was the other piece. And then you worry about posing. But if you have it down where muscle memory just takes over and you don't have to think about your posing so much and you just know that you're rock solid. And I mean, my first show, I was not. I mean, I'm still not rock solid, but I thought I was because I practiced it that much. So I went out there and did what I thought I needed to do and stood on the side, got off stage, looked at the pictures afterwards, looked at the video after. I was like, yeah, my posing was bad. And I didn't pull my lats out. And I didn't really know how at the time. I thought I did. I thought that I had it together. Um, but then when I got with Jen Capozzi and worked with her on some posing, because I didn't plan on Orlando and I didn't plan on uh, doing another competition till like August. And she was like, I think you're still pretty lean. It was about 4 weeks out from the show. She's like, you're still pretty lean. Like, why don't you just get on a plane, go to Orlando and try to compete in 2 weeks? And I was like, I got to see where my kids are. Like, I don't know. So we did like a quick calorie adjustment over the next 2 weeks. The next week was we dropped my calories. Upped my cardio. I kept the same workout plan. The following week is peak week where, the carb cycle manipulation comes into play. And I got on stage. I did everything I needed to do. My posing was much better. And then I got first place there. I didn't take the overall, um, which is fine. I told my husband when we went down there, I was like, this is for fun. This is not for anything. This is for fun. We'll see what happens. And I did pretty well. So I was like, all right. now we get home, like, what's the next plan? And we have a plan, but it's still going to be, where, what's building where. That's
Yeah, it's like Scarface. Like, I came for fun. I did it for fun. You know, you got to, like I said, you gotta enjoy it because I talk to you ladies. There's so much involved to it, and you have to enjoy what you're doing. You know, the training, the dieting, the regiment. Walk around clear heels, like Jessica. With my job, I used to work in a strip club, and that's those girls had they needed that because that's how they made their money. The
yeah.
clear heels. I know your husband there. What's your husband's name?
Michael.
Mike said, "Yo, Michael, yeah, that's my baby there. Yeah, it's my woman. Yeah." And then guys look and say, "Hey, you got a hot wife, Mike." Yeah, I say, "Hey, shut up about my wife. Get your wife out of my mouth." But yeah, it's good that he's there to support you. Your kids
Yeah.
support you. That's the important part about bodybuilding because it's tough, especially for a woman. Because the aspects of bodybuilding, most people think of it as like you just take steroids and you just get big and muscular. But it's like Arnold. But no, there's more to it, the consistency, the diet, the discipline. You
Yeah.
know, motivation changes from day to day. It's like you get up one morning and and the kids are doing something. Hey, mommy, we cooked for you. Say, nah, babies, I gotta go hit the gym. And that's the focus of it. Folks, we're gonna do. Well, I got Jessica here. We're gonna jump into social media for a little bit. If you want to follow her, links description. Also, she runs a business. If you're interested, she's posting. Anybody, if you want to take part in her plan, we'll show that to you there. Also, on IG. But also, you can check her interview with my man David. It's in the top of the chat section of this live stream. But guys, be respectful. Don't be weird. I know you guys out there, you love these buff women, but stop it. Don't do it. You're sick freaks. I mean, I tell you, I'm hearing so many stories, and from women, and they tell me this. I just, hey, guys, come on, have respect for yourself. So we're here, got her and her IG, so you want to follow, and also want to reach out and help her out because I think promotion is good for you. Because right now you have this plan here. I'm looking for 5 women who want to lose fat and build their glutes without restrictive diets or endless cardio. So you're training yourself too, and you also have your own business as a nurse.
Yes, yep. Yeah, I have like a wellness clinic, the Botox filler, all of that locally. And then I do see people, they come in and I do make them nutrition plans. I do make them workout plans. So I have people that come into the office and we discuss this, or I can do it online completely. It's up to the person. I mean, really, it's up to like location based.
Yeah, I know a lot of trainers are going online now. I think mostly when
Yeah.
the pandemic hit, because that's was the thing that forced people to go online and do video conference videos for trainers,
Yep.
And here's a little video. I think if we can play it.
Incentive is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not going to feel perfect every day. There's got to be those days you push through, and they're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline, in my eyes, is 90% of it.
That's pretty good. This is very important part about training, And here she is.
A coach. I'm not just saying this from a perspective of being a coach. I'm saying this from a perspective of having been coached by a number of people in like the fitness field and even like the mental health field that have helped me significantly through my life to help me get where I am now. One of them being Joe Hernandez. He is at a Pro Gear gym in Florida. I've known Joe for about 25 years. And when I was going through a really rough time in my life, I reached out to Joe. I said, please help me because I can't break right now. He sent me a workout. He sent me a meal plan. And we worked together for a while. And it just strengthened my mind, my body, my spirit so that I could get through the really tough time I was going through. And I can't ever thank him enough. Kind of at the same time, I was introduced to CrossFit, and I met someone locally named Dustin Pritzer. He owns VIP CrossFit in Jeffersonville, New York. And he taught me things that you could do with your body that I never could have imagined and really brought some strong out of me. He knew ultimately like my goal was to get into bodybuilding and competing. But, a lot of what I do now with just heavy compound lifts, I learned from Dustin, which was amazing. So he has also helped me. And then he also coached my son to help him with some like heavy compound lifts and get him on the right track. After that, I worked with someone named Logan Frazier. I found Logan. He was from my area and he moved out to California. He hasn't really been home in a while. And I watched him on Facebook for a really long time transform his body and transform his clients. And knowing that I wanted to get competitive within the past 2 years, I reached out to him and was like, what can we do? I need help because I don't know how to get to the next step. I was already doing a workout plan. I was already meal prepping and on the right track. I just needed a little extra and accountability and some more guidance from someone who clearly transformed their own body and had clients also to show what they could do. Logan is amazing. He up till recently, I did stop working with Logan just because I transferred to another coach. Not out of anything that I didn't want to work with him anymore. It was super emotional to break up with him in coaching, and he knows that. But he's helped me significantly, and I could never thank him enough either. In the past year, I met IFBB Pro Dan Crespo, and he has worked with me one-on-one for training as well as coaching. And I've been working with him, and that's what got me to my first competition. So just the guidance, the motivation, the daily, you can do it, keep going, ass kicking that I was getting just really helped too. And I remember like texting him, like, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. I so appreciate it. I don't know if I could have gotten to the stage without you, because it's a scary move. Dan introduced me.
Yeah, you did a lot, to get to where you get to now. I mean, the people you met, your relationship with Eric. I know ladies who tell me that when they have a good coach, it's like having another husband or boyfriend sometimes, and it's hard to break up that relationship when you start to get it going.
Yeah, it was, and it's very hard to explain, but it's just, this journey is very emotional. I'll just breathe.
Take a deep breath.
It's super emotional. Just talking about like the road, and some of the places that I've been, in my career, in my